What's up gang, Khraze here, and today we're going to take a deep dive into some more Red Dead Redemption 2 features. And what I want to go over today is the gang management mechanic that exists in the game. There is a fair bit of information out there, but it's quite scattered around and hard to follow, especially if you didn't keep up with all of the gameplay previews we had posted in the past couple of months. So to bring you up to speed with the basics, a major focus of the main story in Red Dead Redemption 2 is put on the Vanderland gang, of which you, the player, are also part of, as well as the struggles it has to go through in order to survive in a world that is rapidly changing, threatening its very existence. Throughout various points in the main story, the gang will set up several camps outside of the boundaries of civilization, and in these camps is where you'll both find and interact with the rest of the 24 or so members that make up the Vanderland gang. Being a core member of the group, you, playing the role of Arthur Morgan, will be expected to provide for the camp by various means. For the most part, this is done in two ways. First, by hunting, which lets you contribute money and food to the gang, and here you can hunt down animals and bring them as whole in the camp itself, donate money directly, or simply buying out supplies that the camp needs at various points. The second method is by interacting with the rest of the group and by doing side missions for them, which in turn will also increase the morale. And morale isn't just a bar you see on the screen that needs filling by completing good deeds, it's something visibly observable in the game itself. A camp with high morale will be more cheerful, members will be more friendly towards you, even dance and do all sorts of fun activities. On the opposite side, having a low morale will make the atmosphere around the camp more grim, and you'll even get criticized for not pulling your own weight and helping out the gang. Now this might sound like just another thing you need to check off some list. Some of you might even say it's just another feature being forced upon the players, but I assure you that that is not the case at all. And according to a more recent gameplay preview, Rockstar Games was able to confirm that in no way, shape or form are players forced to provide or even help the gang at all, and outside of the inevitable story missions that you need to do with them, you can completely ignore them and just do your own thing. You can completely ignore this feature and have your own adventures alone, but you will most probably want to know that there are powerful benefits should you choose to help them out. First, there are close to 24 members you can speak to, a lot of which from the previous Red Dead Redemption game, which I am sure that many of you are fans of. So there is a lot of potential lore to uncover by either doing side missions for certain characters or by simply listening to their stories they tell during campfire meetups. Finally, we also have mini games we can play, side activities to complete, rare items to unlock, and secrets to uncover, and there is a lot of stuff to do around the camp. It's definitely worth it for you to interact with it and keep morale high, also provide for the camp, as it's very meaningful as well as rewarding. And especially if you have played Red Dead Redemption in the past, this is going to be something that you're going to be fond of, as it's very well put together. There is no shortage of footage showing Arthur and various gang members doing all sorts of activities together. In terms of mini games, we saw Arthur being able to play a game of poker with the camp, but there are many more in there and you can play them in similar fashion, so it's definitely worth it. Many of the Vanderland gang members will also give you side missions, most of which will require you to accompany them, such as hunting missions with Charles Smith, but there are definitely many more. Many times these missions will be given to you in real time by just walking to a member or a group of members, and they will talk about stuff that the gang needs, that the camp itself also needs, and you will have these very organically given to you, almost like in real life. So there's not necessarily going to be always cutscenes. A lot of the times you will also have them happening around you, and you will be part of this just by going to the camp itself or by just listening to stories said at the campfire, which might even reveal secret items for you to uncover. At some point we even saw Arthur dancing with some of the female gang members or going out fishing with others, So there are definitely a lot of things you can do by just interacting with them, and they definitely all feel alive, as you will see later on in this video. It's a very clever way of combining a story-driven element with gameplay mechanics that form a cohesive whole in delivering a seamless and realistic interaction, and it's not forced but rather incentivizes the player to complete it. So that's what I'm liking about it the most. You don't have to ever complete it. If you don't want to, you can completely ignore it, but should you choose to help out and pull your own weight, there are definitely very powerful rewards for you to do so. Another point that I want to make about the camp is that it is also a shelter for the player where you can stay and be provided for. You have your own place to sleep inside the camp, you can take a bath, shave, have a haircut, and even change your clothes. It's also a place to restock on various items such as ammunition or eating food to receive certain buffs to your health. Of course, you can still have all of these at various joints throughout the cities and towns, such as for example hotels, barbershops, or various stores that each provide some of these functionalities, but doing this at the camp is free of charge. There's not much money involved, it's pretty much free, and you also get to like increase morale and interact with your fellow gang members. Moving on to the next point, the camp is a living unit and it operates on a daily schedule. The gang members don't just interact with Arthur but with each other as well, and depending on the hour of the day you might find members dressed for example in long johns setting up breakfast, for example if it's in the morning. Additionally, you can randomly bump into them in the world, even throughout the cities and towns in Red Dead Redemption 2. One such occurrence was shown in a recent preview when Arthur went into a bar in the local town of Valentine, close to which the camp will be set during a certain point in the game, and various other gang members were also seen there having a drink. So it's entirely possible for you to just roam the world and eventually find some of your fellow gang members also going about their daily lives. It's even possible to start an altercation with other people in the bar, and the other members who are present will also jump in to help you if they see the ruckus going on. And generally speaking, the camp just goes about its daily life. Even if you completely ignore it, it still manages itself and members will continue their daily lives like nothing happens. In terms of killing other members, that is a whole different story, and I know a lot of you people have a question such as this. Now, I do not doubt that you'll be able to randomly pull out your gun and just shoot one of your gang members in the face, but during a certain preview a few weeks back, it was said that doing so might give you a mission fail screen, which pretty much makes you restart from the previous save point. So I don't think this is going to be feasible unless it's something that specifically has to be done through a mission, and I am fully expecting, spoilers alert, for at least a few of the gang members to die eventually throughout the story. I mean, that is bound to happen due to the nature of, you know, just the game, the story itself, and the things that occur throughout it. We might also get to see some romance happening in the game, and during yesterday's preview from Vulture, Dan Houser, one of the co-founders of Rockstar Games, was also talking about Arthur having a couple of love interests in the game, one of which had to be removed for certain reasons. That still means there's one more left, and it might be with one of the gang members. Moving on to the final point, you can't speak of a Western game without multiple rival gangs clashing in and fighting for supremacy, and there are at least a handful of other gangs in Red Dead Redemption 2 roaming the countryside, towns, and the frontier, each different but just as deadly as being shown in the second gameplay trailer. One such gang that the group encounters early on in the game is the O'Driscoll gang, and there are multiple missions where you will have to take out various of their hideouts. During these missions, you'll be accompanied by some of your fellow gang members and even be able to give them commands like taking down certain enemies or hiding behind certain covers. I'm not really sure of the full extent of this, but playing stealth is also possible, and from the looks of it, the commands you can give to your group will differ compared to when you're like this or just going out guns blazing. Meeting a rival gang out in the wild by yourself is also possible, and it seems that Arthur can even get ambushed in more than just one way, as it can be seen from various gameplay trailers. It's not clear yet if the scenes featuring these are from missions or just random encounters, but the context definitely makes it sound like this is just a random event that can occur out in the wild. It's nonetheless undeniable that there are a lot of gangs out there and many more outlaws as well, so you're definitely going to have a a lot of shootouts on the road, but again, this is just one of the things that adds a lot more fun to the game, and I cannot wait to take down some of the enemy gangs myself. But this is all the information we know so far on the gang/camp related mechanic. With only 10 days until the game comes out, I don't think there's going to be any more reveals on this, so expect for more info to come only when people get to play the game itself and report their findings. In the meantime, make sure to aim the like button if you enjoyed this video. Also subscribe to the channel for more awesome content like this, and I will see you guys later, so peace out.